Hello YouTube, how is everybody tonight? I'm pretty well exhausted. I just pulled down 8 logs from on the pile. I cut up 4 more today. I'm averaging 4 logs a day, except for the day that my friend was here we cut 8. So I pull down 8 logs at a time. It fills up my chute here, my cutting chute I'm going to call it, and then I cut. Tomorrow I don't think I'm doing 4 logs. This one log, you see how big that is? That's got to be 16 inches. Got to be. I'm too beat to go and get the measuring tape. I was just in the house too and I forgot to bring the measuring tape. There's a few more of them big ones in this pile too. 13 inches across. When you cut, I'm cutting them in 14-inch lengths, so they're easier to load in my stove. Because I bought a new, smaller stove this year. So it says it can handle 18-inch logs, but when you open the door, and you see the whole 18-inch log, you have to mess with it to get it in there. So I'm cutting them all 14 inches. Just to be easier on myself when I have to load the firewood in it. But these big round logs, these biggest ones here, when you cut those in a 14-inch, I have to cut them in half just to lift them. So this tomorrow is going to be a less than 4 log day, probably only a 2 log day, because this big one's going to be triple the work. I have to cut it and drop the cut off, turn it sideways, cut it in half, and then load them and move them. It's going to be a lot of work. My goal is to fill the shed before winter. I still have work to do on the front of the house, and it's almost October, so I think I'm going to make it. Because once this is full, I'll be happy. Then I can return back to work on the house. I don't know why this has possessed me, that I'm in such a dire need to fill this. I have no idea. But I'd like to have it all cut and stacked. Worry about splitting it on another day. And go from there. Right now I'm started on my 4th row. Every row is a cord and a half of wood, so every 2 rows is a bush cord or more, because we're 7 feet high in here and 12 feet wide, so 4 foot by 8 is a cord, face cord. So I'm well over 1.5 face cords per row. So I'm still thinking I get 5 bush cords in here, but I could be wrong. I have to get to the calculator and figure it all out again, but I don't really care anymore. All I care about is getting it full and getting these logs cut. I might leave some for next year to cut once it's full. I got work to do on the house, so I'd like to get that finished before the snow flies too. Anyways, y'all have a great day. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see this. That's the color of the siding. Charcoal gray. And it's very funny that it turned out to be that color, because I used some paint up on the roof before I had any roofing on it, and it's the same color. Yeah, it's wacky how stuff like that works out. My eave trough is working much better now that the metal roof is overhanging the wood roof a little more. Works awesome. This is coming down, my old generator cover up. That's going to come down. That old dresser's going to go in the fire pit. That tabletop's going to go in the fire pit. I don't think I'm going to use it again. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe it'll come in handy for somewhere. Maybe I'll save it. Pretty tough table. But it may not be after too many more winters. Anyways, keeping this side now. Talk to you later.